Good morning. Today we'll be looking at Cvp analysis as management accounting. I'm going to guide you on how to go about Cvp analysis. So this topic is cost volume with analysis. What we used to call Cvp analysis. Cvp, yes, it's from certain Cvp. So what is Cvp? You'll just see that. Okay. So yeah, it says CVP analysis is a technique to determine the effects of changes in an organization, sales volumes on its cost, revenue, and profit. It examines the behavior of total revenue, total cost, and operating profit as changes occur in the output level, selling price, variable cost, or fixed cost. It's also used to analyze the effects of profits. You can read this one. So here are some technologies which are the minimum selling price per unit times its quantity, variable cost, the variable cost per unit times its quantity. Then you have the total cost, total fixed cost, profit before tax. Okay, it's the same thing. After tax, net profit. So normally here we deal with profit before tax. So anytime there is a net profit, we just have to adjust it. Okay. So here uh basically, what they are trying to tell you is that CVP is a study of relationship between the cost and volume and its impact on profit here. So, based on this, we have some assumptions. The number one assumption I can say is that total cost is being categorized into three. That's the total fixed cost and what variable cost. Then we have what the sales per unit, the variable cost per unit, and fixed cost at a constant range are considered to be the same. And also the production volume equals sales volume. That's when there is no inventory change in production. So product mix also remains constant even in a multi-product scenario. So yeah, let's see the uses. Okay, setting prices for products and services, determining whether to introduce a new product or service, replacing a piece of equipment, determining break-even point, then making buy or sell decisions, determining the best product mix. Okay, these are the assumptions. You see, total cost can be accurately separated or categorized into fixed or variable components. That's just what, like I just said in introduction, the behavior of total revenue and total cost is linear in relation to output within the relevant range. Selling price per unit, variable cost per unit, and fixed costs are known to remain constant. I also said that. Sorry. Then the sales volume of a product is only the cost of this covers a single product or assumes the constant sale loss. Not that is organization. Yeah, what I'm about to do. Okay, so for today's session, I'll be teaching you how to go about the single product, what's it called? Wait, single product mix assumption. So with this one, this one gets a basic. So once you're able to build this on our subsequent this one meetings, I'll make sure I'll tackle on some key points to go over the multi-product side. So yeah, just have to. It's just basically the approach is equation approach and confirmation. So here we also know that what our break-even point in quantity equals what? Our fixed cost divided by what? Our contribution. We have what? Break-even point in what? Revenue or sales was BEP, break-even point in what? Quantity times our what? Selling price. So this one is it. So our break-even point in quantity equals the cost over contribution. Some call the contribution margin. Then the contribution margin is basically what's it called? Is the selling price per unit minus the variable cost per unit. That's what gives you the contribution, what they call contribution margin. So BEP in sales, BEP is BEP quantity times selling price. And also using the contribution, this is the equation approach. So using the what? Contribution margin approach. Sorry. Using a contribution margin approach. Here, our BEP can be the same. BEP in quantity can be the same, but our BEP in revenue, that one equals what? Our fixed cost all over contribution margin CMS or contribution margin ratio or contribution per sales ratio, whatever you can call it. Is contribution margin ratio, CMR. So we'll solve examples, you get to know what it is. So this is basically what they are trying to tell us. Okay, let me quickly give you the format so that once you are going through, it will be easy for us. So with the targeted profit in units. That one, the formula is fixed cost plus the target profit being given divided by our contribution or contribution margin, whatever you call it. So having the same thing in sales or in revenue, it was the same thing. It was the first one, targeted profit in units times our selling price per unit. That's it. Okay. So here too is the same thing, but just that when you get here, when you're looking for targeted profits in using the contribution margin approach, when you're finding for what's it called, targeted profit in unit, it will be the same by targeted profits in revenue. That's when you do your fixed cost. So let me quickly put it here. Targeted profit in revenue, that one is simple. It's your fixed cost plus the targeted profit divided by what? Contribution margin ratio or contribution per sales ratio. Yeah, I normally call it contribution per sales ratio since I ever knew about what they call break-even analysis. You have used to contribution per sales ratio. Okay, so now let's deep into it. Okay, so this is just a diagram to tell us. Okay, this is a graphical approach method. The variable cost this side, this on this side. the total revenue, total cost is 9. So let's go through what contribution margin ratio. Okay, the contribution margin ratio, okay, is the ratio of unit contribution margin per unit to selling price. The same to what the formula is just telling you the definition. You don't need to learn this. It measures the profit contribution. So let's go to our learning outcome to calculating our break-even point sales unit and revenue for single product or service organization. Okay. So here, sorry, I want to show what I is. So, so these are break-even points in quantity. See, these are fixed costs divided by contribution margin or contribution. So if you're using this approach, they're using. So yeah, see how as a break-even point in total revenue or total sales, BEP of total units times selling price per unit. Then we have our sales, what's it called? This is the contribution margin ratio approach or contribution to sales ratio. So we take this example. Okay. So Pani boutique. So I'll just read the question, then I'll give you some seconds to go over it. So they said Kami boutique owned by men A can purchase dresses for 32 cities per dress from the local factory. Other variable costs amount to 10 cities per dress. Assume that the average selling price per dress is 70 cities and the total fixed cost amount to 84,000. What quantity of units will she need to sell to break even? What will be the break even revenue? Okay, so let's jump into it. So yeah, I gave you the format. So yeah, okay, it's at the top. So I don't need to write it. So just look for, there are three things you need to look for: your fixed cost, your selling price per unit, your variable cost per unit. So the variable cost per unit and what's it called? The selling price per unit. The difference is your contribution margin. What's it called? Contribution. So our fixed cost given to us was 84,000. Our variable cost per unit. Always remember to bring the per unit so you don't get confused. Sometimes they give you the full value. That's the revenue amount. So variable cost per unit was what? 32 cities. Additional variable cost was added per unit, which was what? That's it. They say what? Other variable cost amount to 10 cities per dress. So that one is also 10. Then what else do we have? Look for our selling price per unit. And that one is 70. So okay. So what's our contribution now? Wait first. Okay, so our contribution equals what? We take this one selling price per unit, then we less the variable cost per unit out of it. But remember, the variable cost per unit was 32 cedis, and additional 10 cedis was being there. So we just have to add both of them and take it out of. So that's it, 28. That's our contribution. So our break-even point in quantity, which equals what? Fixed cost divided by contribution is what? What's our fixed cost here? 84,000 divided by our contribution is 28, giving us 30,000. Then our BEP in revenue, which equals what? Was what? Our BEP in quantity or units times our selling price per unit. Okay, so I'm gonna, so let me shift it down. So here we are using what's it called? Here we are using the equation approach. Okay. So each unit equals what do we get for our units was 3,000 multiplied by our selling price per unit, which is 70. So giving us 210,000. Okay. So the so um let's use the contribution margin approach. Contribution approach. So here our BEP. So here it remains the same. Here our BEP remains the same. But our contribution, okay, here equals what? Our BP in sales equals fixed cost. What is our fixed cost? Fixed cost divided by contribution margin ratio. So first we need to find our contribution margin ratio, which is um our contribution divided by our sales. Okay, here's the contribution divided by your sales. So here we get, so what's our contribution? 28 divided by our sales figure was 70. We're giving us 0.4. So then you come here, then that means our break-even point in revenue using the contribution approach equals our fixed cost, which is 8, this one, divided by the contribution margin ratio we add here. You see, it's the same thing. 210,000, 210,000. Okay, let's go through. You just stay with me, almost done. So, okay, okay. I think we are done. So we are at profit planning, right? So remember at the beginning of the lecture, I told you that anytime they give you profit after tax and there's a tax rate there, you have to what do what it up. So here we have profit planning. Chart 2. Okay, yeah, on our profit planning. So yeah, we quickly do it there and just have to be somewhere. So profit planning. Okay, you don't worry. Let's do it on our second lecture. So let me make the video short.